Welcome back. Earlier today, Donald Trump took a few moments away from the campaign schedule to attend the grand opening of the Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C. The capital city's historic old post office been under renovations for 2 years now. Today it officially reopened, and Mr. Trump said, with the exception of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, the Trump Hotel is the most valuable piece of real estate in Washington. He also says that the government should work more like his company.
A project like this demonstrates what is possible when a team works together for a totally common purpose. It also shows how to work with our government and to get things done. My theme today is 5 words: under budget and ahead of schedule. That's what we did. Under budget and ahead of schedule.
Brad Thomas is a real estate developer and author of the book, The Trump Factor, Unlocking the Secrets Behind the Trump Empire. And Brad joins us now from Newsmax, New York. Hey, Brad, we appreciate your time tonight on Newsmax Prime. Under budget and ahead of schedule. When writing about Donald Trump, is this the practice you saw put in place time and again?
Absolutely, JD. I was actually the very first customer of the Trump Hotel a couple weeks ago at the soft opening. Literally, I swiped the credit card first. I stayed in the hotel. I've never stayed at a brand new hotel with a brand new room, with a brand new shower and all that. But it was, I'll tell you what, I've been to every property that Donald Trump owns in the world. I've written about all of those in my book. That's really the purpose of the book. But that particular hotel, I've got a whole chapter dedicated to the D.C. property, the old post office building. And I will tell you, J.D., Donald Trump raised the bar. This is the nicest hotel that I've seen in the whole portfolio. He did a great job. And he's right, it's under budget and on time and ahead of time.
Well,
I can certainly attest to that.
Well, let me ask you, Brad, since you were the very first guy to stay there, you didn't mess anything up, did you? No petty vandal. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, you have had a unique opportunity. I mean, it's a great idea for a book to research all the Trump properties, but obviously the topic right now has to do with what's going to happen in 13 days, and the question becomes, can Trump, the businessman, have in his on his resume and in his toolkit of experience exactly what's necessary to fix the problems we encounter as a nation if he is elected and serves at that other prominent piece of property on Pennsylvania Avenue?
Yeah, JD, look, I've heard some criticism here today about maybe he shouldn't have taken the day off from the campaign schedule, but I think this is very strategic and very tactical on behalf of Donald Trump and his team to show and witness firsthand, a property that is actually owned by the U.S. government today. This was a ground lease, so the government still owns this property. It's a 99-year ground lease, but how he was able to transform a non-income producing asset into an income-producing asset that creates, guess what, 500 new jobs. That's what the management told me when I was there a few days ago. 500 real jobs and 500 construction jobs. So this is symbolic of what Donald Trump can do for the country when it comes to his business and leadership skill set, and how he's able to take his team together, the architects, the engineers, the contractors, and to put it all together and create something that's profitable. And that's exactly what Donald Trump's trying to do for this country.
Brad, you mentioned some of the criticism. We can't call it murmuring because it's said out loud. Case in point, Mr. Trump's campaign manager, Kellyanne Conway, appeared on NBC this morning, and she was asked this exact question. What does it say that Donald Trump is choosing to spend any of his remaining time before the election promoting his own hotel and his own brand, as opposed to getting out there and really asking people for their votes? Here's the way Kellyanne responded.
Well, he's doing all of the above, Savannah. 12 stops in Florida over the last 2.5 days. You see it reflected in that new Bloomberg poll where he's ahead of Hillary Clinton by 2 points, even though she's outspent us by like 8-1 on the air in Florida. He's making a pit stop here in Washington, and his under budget, ahead of schedule hotel is really remarkable. It shows Americans the tangible accomplishments of Donald Trump.
Yeah, look, campaigning, and this is the thing that really gets me. Hillary turns 69 today. There have been all the questions about her health. There's Mr. Trump at age 70. I mean, a really hectic schedule in Florida. Yeah, he was there at the opening of the hotel today. You know, Brad, I've known you since you were in high school. I got a few years on you. I'm getting over a cold. These past 3 or 4 days kind of have me creeping along. What gives Trump the kind of energy he has, and have you been able to see it firsthand as you've visited his resorts and talked to him about his investments?
Absolutely. You know, JD, it's amazing to see the energy level. You know, I've witnessed firsthand. I was out sick last week with a cold myself, but I did attend the rally that Trump had in Charlotte, North Carolina. And again, these people are lined up. Every rally, I've probably gone to at least 20 rallies since he started campaigning back over a year ago. But the energy level is amazing to see. And like you said, at his age, and he has an excellent memory. He saw me and pointed me out at the rally last week, and just, you know, the energy level that he has. This guy's he's extremely sharp, and people don't really give him credit for not only the energy level, but just what I call the ability, the second level thinking, and what he's able to do, and what he can do for this country. And again, I think, you know, running on a business ticket, I think that's very relevant. And I think Mr. Trump did a very wise job with promoting his property today. And after all, this particular asset, this building, is located halfway between the White House and the Capitol, and so it's very strategically located. He is competing with some peers that are going to give him competition. But again, he's created a differentiated product. It is a high price point. It's an ultra luxury hotel. Mr. Trump often reminds me it's not a luxury hotel, it's an ultra luxury hotel. He does have competition in that market, but I think he's got a great location, irreplaceable real estate. You know, I think he's going to do great with that investment.
Well, as he continues to perform in business, his opponent, Hillary Clinton, continues to carp as if this is some sort of character flaw. Let's listen to Mrs. Clinton attacking Mr. Trump over the opening of this hotel. She was at a campaign event in Lake Worth, Florida. Here's what she had to say.
While the hotel may be new, it's the same old story. He's used undocumented workers. He's made his products in foreign countries. He's used Chinese steel instead of American steel. So, you know, you can talk a good game, but let's look at the facts. And the facts show he has stiffed American workers. He has stiffed American businesses.
And let me just step down. Well, of course, I'm a commentator, not a journalist. To complete the record for Hillary, Brad, she stiffed all of us by her pay-for-play scheme at the State Department. And I just have to ask you, because you're a business writer and you're a guy in the know, to your knowledge, has Hillary Clinton ever created a job outside of a staffer at the White House or the State Department or in her Senate office?
You know, not to my knowledge, JD. And again, I just completed a book. Actually, I finished 2 books this year. And I didn't get a book advance. I didn't get a multi-million-dollar advance like Hillary Clinton did. And if you look at her tax
Tell me about it, pal.
Year,
I've had the same thing happen to me.
You know, It's amazing. It's amazing. And I think I'll sell more copies of my book than she ever thought about. So, you know, I just think, you know, there is no business track record whatsoever. She's never signed a paycheck. She's never negotiated a deal, an arm's length deal. And again, she's paid for play. And I think what you have with Donald Trump is somebody who is what you see is what you get. He's transparent. And that's exactly what I think, you know, why I hope he's going to perform well in the next couple of weeks. And JD, I just wrote a column for my newsletter. It's going out next week, and I write about the silent majority. And I really think, you know, what really is going to have to happen here between now and the election is the silent majority is going to have to show up in these swing states. And I don't know about you, but in South Carolina, you know, there are a number of people who are driving around cars that don't have Trump stickers on their vehicles. And my question is, how many of those people are out there that are going to be voting for Donald Trump, you know, in a couple of days? So that's really what I think it's going to boil down to. And I think that silent majority is going to show up.
Well, we're going to see about that. I don't want you to remain completely silent about the book. Give me 30 seconds. When readers open the book, what do you want them to take away from it, Brad?
Sure. I'm the only writer that's ever written a book on Donald Trump and all of his businesses. You know, it's not, Donald Trump didn't pay me to write this book. I have no compensation. I've paid for all the places I've stayed and traveled myself because I wanted to be the person who gets it right And I have a background in real estate, over 20 years in real estate. So that's really what it comes down to. I've also addressed the brand equity of Donald Trump. I think that's a big relevant subject also today, is what is his brand worth in addition to all of his real estate assets.
Brad Thomas, we appreciate your time. You need to remember to pick up a copy of Brad's book. It's entitled The Trump Factor: Unlocking the Secrets Behind the Trump Empire. Our thanks to Brad, who joined us from Newsmax New York. And up next, our Prime Playback. What happens when different political candidates start talking about taking away tax-exempt status for houses of worship? We'll talk about that and more as we continue tonight on Newsmax Prime.